Stamping and Creating with me, Fiona Whitten. For those of you who don't know me, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in Wokingham, Berkshire, in the UK. So today I want to share some of my pre-order. Actually, to be honest, it's virtually all of it. I didn't go mad, other than for the in colours, which you can see here. Just bear with me for 2 seconds though, whilst I double check that I am actually going out live. Looks like I am, so that's good. So yes, so today's all about sneak peeks. As you know, we have the new catalogue coming out next week. Wednesday next week, 1st of May, the new 2024 to 2025 Annual Catalogue starts. It does mean that we are now in the last week, sadly, of the 2023 to 2024 catalogue, and it also means that the 2022 to 2024 in colours are going. For those of you who don't know, Stampin' Up! Bring out in colours every year, new in colours every year. The idea being to keep all the colours that they offer on trend. So they kind of look to see where the market's going and what the colour combinations are and what people are liking. And then they plug new colours into the current offering. But they're only good for 2 years. So we get a new set every year, but they're only around for 2 years. So if you do want anything to do with the 2022-2024, don't hang around. We've only got 6 more days left. And then once they're gone, they are gone, sadly. But anyway, so this year's new in colours look like this. So we always have 5 new. So we have Petunia Pop. We have Peach Pie. And this one is Summer Splash. So we've got 2 greens this year. So we've got Summer Splash, and we've also got Shy Shamrock, which to my mind is not particularly shy because it's quite a bright green. And then we also have Pretty in Pink, which I believe, from memory, is a returning colour. It's not often Stampin' Up! Do it, but I seem to recall a good few years ago that there was a Pretty in Pink. It's like 2018, something like that, so it was a good while ago. So if any of you have kept hold of that, hopefully they haven't dried up. But it's back. So in colours, always available, I say always, they are now available in the Stampin' blends. So you get 2 in the pack, the dark and the light of each colour. You can get the Stampin' Right markers, which come as a pack of 5. So these come as pack of 2s, and as always there is a fine end and a brush end. Similarly with the markers, there is a fine end which is denoted by the thinner line, and a brush end which is denoted by the thicker line. And the thin end, actually, it's a new end. It was a new end last year, from memory. So you have the colour all the way on that nib. So that's good for writing, and then obviously this end is good for colouring stamps. So if you want to do ink to stamp, then you can use your markers, especially if you want to colour different parts of the stamp in different colours all in one go. So they're good for that. It's exactly the same colours and inks that you will find in the ink pads, which I also have. So of course, we've also got, as I said, the ink pads. So we have the 5 colours. So Petunia Pop, Peach Pie, Summer Splash, Shy Shamrock, and Pretty in Pink. So those are the 5 colours. These are our normal classic ink pads. So for those of you who are not sure how to open them, think old-fashioned compact. So you lift it, so at this end, I've already put my labels on. So when you get a new ink pad, you will find on the reverse this label, and that you can use all of these bits. So what I do is I tend to put one on the inside, on the outside, sorry, so that I know that that's the colour. I put one on the inside, because sometimes when you open an ink pad, you're never actually quite sure what the colour is, because some of them can look very much alike. So I put one on the inside, and I was going to show you how to open this as well, wasn't I? So you think compact, so you basically lift it at the end that has this sort of piece that's sort of dug out. Put your thumb on there and lift completely all the way over, and then slide, and then that's good for stamping now. The other way, I've seen some people do it, she says that she's trying to get it closed, is to hold it here at the end, but I'm never very good at doing that. Oh, I can. Okay, so if you use your thumbs on the end here, not on those little indents, but sort of just on the inside, and push down with your thumbs. I think you have to be quite strong for that. So it will pop it and pop it open. So there's that. So yes, so label on the front, label on the inside, and then there's usually at least another one that you could use if you like using sponge daubers. You can use that to go around the base of your sponge dauber as well. So that means that you can you have everything you know is that particular colour. If you intend just to keep your colours just stacked, each of the ink pads have these little feet, for want of a better description, and they just fit into those little holes, grooves, so that stops that all from falling around, which is really good. Other in colour stuff, there's always in colour 6x6 paper, and this is what this year's looks like. So we have flowers and geometric shapes. So there are 2 sheets, actually there's 4 sheets, there's 2 of each of these in the 5 colours. So we've got the floral, the geometric shapes, and then on the reverse side you have dots and lines. So dots and lines, dots and lines, guess what, dots and lines, and yet some more dots and lines. So that's what the 6x6 paper looks like, and you can get this in, or you will be able to get this in each of the colour families. So there will be a set for brights, subtles, regals and neutrals. And then of course the 2 lots of in colours, so you'll have the 24 to 26 and the 23 to 25. So they will look like that. There is ribbon to coordinate, but I didn't get any. There are also these rather nice, take them out of the packet, otherwise you can't see, all you get is the shine off the packet. These are the, I have to turn it over and remind myself, 2024 to 2026 in colour shimmer gems. So these are actually flat. Well, actually thinking, well, they're not flat, I thought they were, but they look flat when you look at them from above, but from the side they're not. Let's see if I can send that on there, so if you can see from the side, from the edge, that they are they're a little bit of a lump. So and then you've got two different sizes, or is it 3? What does it say on the back? Probably would help to see. It doesn't say anything other than that they are, oh, here we go, yes, so they are, you get 150 of them, and they're 4mm and 5mm, so there are 2 different sizes, so you've got the 4mm and the 5mm in each of the 5 colours, and 150 in total. There is the cardstock, of course, which I do have, but I think you kind of get the idea of the colours by now. So cardstock pretty much is cardstock. So that's the in colour things. you probably want to know what else I got. So I went for a suite, and I have to look it up now because I can't remember. I know that it's on page 51 of the catalogue. So if you have your catalogue already, all of mine have now gone out. So everybody who came to Card in a Cuppa last week got one. Everybody who placed an order in the last 6 months, they have gone in the post. I know they've left the post office, so I sent them tracked. So hopefully they'll be there in the next day or two at the latest. So I actually got the Country Woods suite, which is made up of the Country Birdhouse stamp set. I'm trying to put it at an angle so that it's hopefully not showing too much with all the light. There's not too much of a glare on there. So we have a birdhouse, some sentiment. So there's 13 stamps in total. Be aware that these are actually at 95%, so the birdhouse is actually a bit bigger than that. We've got some flowers. We've got a stamp that you can use to stamp, make it look like wood. Some little chain, flowers, dots, and then, as I said, some sentiments. The dies to go with them, so you can get them separately. So you can get the stamp set and you can get the dies separately, or of course if you get them both together then you save 10%. So the dies are designed to well, some of them coordinate with this. So this is the basic shape for the birdhouse, but then there are some extra bits that you can then add to it. So this piece here is for those scallops. This piece there is, you can make like a window box type thing. And then these two pieces are also for, these two here, are also for extra bits to put on to decorate if you want to. There's this piece which I haven't used it yet, but I'm guessing you could use it as if your birdhouse was on a post or pole, and I don't know yet. I guess you would put it that way around and die cut it. These two bits are for the circle and little round piece here for like the post for the bird to sit on. Then we have a bit for some of the flowers. Let's see, where's that's that one. We've got the bird. That's that flower, and then this one must be for that one. Yeah, so that's, so they coordinate. But then you also have some other little bits. So you have some flowers and leaves. And the nice thing is they're actually a fair number. So you've got 3 of those. I'm not quite sure why there's 3 and not 4. You've got these coordinate, so those 2 are the same flower, just one's bigger than the other. Similarly with that, you've also got a bow, and then I think that's basically it in the dies. So we've got some that coordinate and some that do other things. You can use it for, don't necessarily even have to use it for the stamp set. You can just use them, some of them freehand, just by themselves. It's really up to you. I've just got to try and make sure I get all these bits back on here so I don't lose them. Right, I think that's all of them. So that's that stamp set and the dies. So that's the Country Birdhouse dies. And as you can see, that's this one here is that flower there. I have some cards to show you, so and I'll share those in a minute. The other stamp set that comes in the Country Woods suite is this Country Flowers. Now, those of you who have received their catalogues will recognise that image. It's one that I've used to colour and put on the cards that I made, showcasing all the in-colour things. So that was one of them. So that's it, stamped and coloured and then die cut out. So again, let's remove those for a second. This time the images here are shown at 90%. So be aware that they're actually a bit bigger than that, as you can see. So we've got 13 in total, of which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are sentiments, and then the rest are images or bits that you can put together to create an image. So we have a teapot, a stool, a pail, 2 lots of flowers, and if you're looking at it like this from here, it looks like a set of bananas, and I'm sure it's not. So it's a plant. So it's this plant. It just from this side, it kind of looks like a banana, pile of bananas. But there you go. And then these are the dies that go with it. So we've got dies that cut out various images. So we have the stool, the teapot, and then this one will be for the leaves, and then we've got the 2 flowers, and then again we've got some extra, so we've got some flowers and some leaves. We've got this little piece. I haven't worked out what this bit is yet. Oh, I know what it is. It's the lid for this jug. So we have this one, which is like it's not a pail, it's like a tub of some sort with handles, and then we've got like a big jug, and maybe that could even be the lid for the teapot as well. I'm not too sure, but because I haven't actually used those ones yet. You can see which stamps I've already used, which is not a lot of them, but hey. And again, I have a couple of cards to share with you using that. Also part of the suite is this embossing folder, which is called the Eyelet 3D. So it's a standard size embossing folder, 3D. So that means when you put it through your cut and emboss machine, you use the base plate and the really dark plate with it, and nothing else. So it's just those 2 that you use to emboss with. And then last but not least, I also got the country lace paper, which is 12 by 12, as you can see, and it coordinates with, and I have to go and get the backing sheet out because the catalogue doesn't tell me. So it coordinates with Basic Beige, which is a new colour, just a base colour, Misty Moonlight, Petal Pink, and Smoky Slate. So as you can see, a lot of it is just eyelet type. So we've got Petal Pink, Smoky Slate, Misty Moonlight. Oops. That's the beige, Misty Moonlight, and that's Smoky Slate again. So those are all 6 on one side. And then on the reverse we have different things. So we've got like a denim looking, we've got lines, we've got a Hessian type thing, grey Hessian dots, and then we've got stripes. So these are stripes, and there are some dots in there as well. I don't know if you can see it too well. If I hold it up, you can just about make out. So that's the paper that goes with the suite. There's also some ribbon and so the ribbon is, I want to say, it's like a petal pink and white combo. And then there are also some Smoky Slate pearls, which I do have, but I've put them somewhere. The story of my life, really, isn't it? That I put them somewhere and then I can't find them. So that, other than a couple of other things, which I'm just about to share, is pretty much my pre-order. So one thing that I really want to share, and I love this, and I've been playing with it all for a couple of days now, and it's a humongously large embossing folder. So standard embossing folder, where did I put it? Tends to be 6.5 inches by 6.25. Well, this is 6 by 8.5, or 15.2 by 21.6. So if I hold them up like that, actually, if I hold them up like that, then you can see there's one, there's the other. There is a massive difference. This one, this new one, fits nicely onto the base plate for the cut and emboss machine. So it would fit standard other machines like Big Shot and stuff like that. So it would go through that quite happily. So I have been having lots of fun with this. So look, most of the cards that I'm going to share with you in a minute, you'll have that on. So the dotted circles, it's a 3D embossing folder. You'll find it on page 129 of the catalogue. And then last but not least, the other stamp set that I got was this really sweet one called Hearts and Hugs. So we've got badgers, we've got a mouse, we've got a hamster, and we've got, I was going to say walruses, but I'm not quite sure whether they're sea lions. I'm never very good with my walruses and sea lions. So we've got these. So we've got these images, we've got little hearts, and then we've also got some sentiments. And again, be careful because these are shown at 95%. And again, there are dies to go with it. So you can see that the walrus is quite a bit bigger than the actual image. And look at this little chap. I think he's absolutely gorgeous. And then the dies. So some are designed to cut out the critters. So we have, that's the walrus, that's the hamster, that's the, ooh, what else have we got? Badgers, and then that one. That's the mouse, because you can tell by the tail. And then we've also got some really sweet, so we've got some grass and some leaves, and then we've got some flower heads, and then we've also got these rather cute little hearts, and then also this strip of hearts. It does cut them out individually, so if you think that it's all going to come out nicely onto one piece, they all fall out basically. And I'll show you what I did with them in 2 ticks. So that was, or is, my pre-order. As I said, you could get your hands on the, well, next week on the 1st of May if you can't wait. Love to have you join my team, and you can actually include these in your pre-order now. It's really up to you. Pre-order, there was only a limited number of things that we could purchase, but obviously come next week, then you can order anything from the catalogue. So I'm going to start with this card. So this card, so this is my little hamster, which I've coloured using some Stampin' blends. These are those little hearts that I was telling you about. So they're these. And what I did was, once I had stamped him, I actually just placed this over the image and then just drew a pencil mark where I wanted to put each of the hearts. So that that did actually look like he's juggling them. I thought that was rather cute. Now this is it's called a swing and sway card, because this little bit here does actually move from side to side. It moves better when it's standing up. I could shake it, but I don't know that you will actually see very well, other than the fact that my camera is probably going to go throw a complete tantrum at me, and you'll not be able to see. But anyway, so this does move, and this was the card that we made at our our craft and chat on Monday with the Acorns. So that was what we made, and as you can see, I have used the dotted circle embossing folder. They're really quite raised. and I love it because I'm really into mandalas and things. So for me, this is the bee's knees. So yeah, I really, really love this embossing folder. So that was the card, and it's one of these sort of fancy Z folds, or W fold actually. So he's very cute. So that was what we made on Monday. And then what else have I made? Well, I've got lots actually. This is the birdhouse. I've not made much so far with the birdhouse. So this is, so we've got some of the in colour paper. In fact, this is all in colour. This is the new basic beige colour. And then we've got Petunia Pop and Pretty in Pink are the colours that I've used. So some die cutting, some stamping on the die cut pieces, stamped some of the wood, put a little round piece in for the hole, and then I put a little flower on with a little embellishment. So that says, hoping you have the best day ever. So that was in colour and the birdhouse. This is in colour and birdhouse. Where's my birdhouse stamp set? So there's the stamp set. Hopefully you can see that. So this is the dots. These are those flowers. So it's just a very simple stamp the dots, stamp the sentiment, stamp and die cut the flowers, and then colour them and add them to the card. And this is Pretty in Pink paper from the 6x6 paper pack. And a bit to go on the inside. And then everything else I have here is to do with, it's to do with, I've used that, and that's mostly the dies, and some of the ideas that I've used. So I haven't done anything with this one yet, she says, and it says my video has died, but I'm pretty sure it hasn't. I think this is just Facebook playing up for me. Ah, there you go. So this was just a piece of basic white, which I die cut embossed. So you can see from here, if I hold it up right to the camera, hopefully you can see just how pretty and how effective this embossing folder is. So this is a piece of basic white that I embossed using the centre of the embossing folder. So I've basically placed it here so that I have the centre circle in the middle. Don't have to do that. I do have some other bits, yep. So this was where, on the white, where I placed it to the side. So basically it's virtually sort of here where so then you get the circles coming off the side, and I might use that bit in a minute. So that was that bit. And then this is a whole base card. So this is what I was saying about how big this embossing folder is. So this is 14.9 by 21 centimetres. So basically it's half a sheet of A4, so I cut it and I scored it in half, and then I put it in the embossing folder through my stamp emboss and cut and emboss machine. And then this is what it looks like. So when I fold it, I will have both a front and a back that has been embossed. So I will use that for a project. But I just wanted to share that you can put a whole half sheet. If you're going to then subsequently cut it up to use it, I would suggest you use a guillotine rather than a normal a trimmer with a blade, only because when you're trying to cut through some of the bits, It does fray it a little bit. It depends on how upset you're likely to be with it. So that's a guillotine ideal trimmer. You can do, but it may just fray the edges a little bit. Okay, so this was one of the first cards that I made using the embossing folder. So other than just using it as a plain white, I thought, you know, I'll actually use some of the in colours. So we've got the Pretty in Pink card base, we've got the Petunia Pop. Was it that? No, actually this was the first one. That was the step up. So this was the first one, the Petunia Pop. So I cut some circles using stylish shaped dies. So I just cut 3 circles, and then what I did was I lightly glued the two larger ones onto the base piece of white, and then I ran it through the cut and emboss machine. So you basically have a continuing pattern through the whole of those 2 hot circles and the white. And then the third one I used to use to stamp a sentiment. And then I just used my tuxedo black to stamp the image, colour it with my Stampin' blends. Now this is popped up on dimensionals, and that's popped up on dimensionals. And then these are the shimmer gems. So hopefully you can see that shimmering. And then I stamped on some white to go on the inside, and coloured it before I put it in. So that was the first card. This is a stepped up version, in that what I did was I embossed the piece of white. I embossed those 2 circles separately, and then I fitted them onto the actual embossed piece of white. So this matches up completely with the pattern. This one's glued. This one has got some dimensionals underneath it. Stamped a sentiment. This is one of the little flowers from the birdhouse, and then that's the birdie, which I stamped onto some of the in colour paper. And that's the birdie again. And then this last one, just wanted to show you don't have to just use cardstock. So this is some of the country lace paper. So I actually embossed onto that. I cut it to the size that I wanted, embossed it, and then glued it onto very much slightly wider piece of basic white. Kept it simple. Sentiment on some basic white, the whole width of the card. And then this is some peach pie. Can I remember? I think it's peach pie. Thinking pecan pie, and it's not pecan pie, it's peach pie. So that's some of the little flowers. So those 2 are the flowers that are in the Country Birdhouse die set. So I've just added the 2 different sizes together to create the 2 different flowers. And then added some of the shimmer gems to the middle. So as you can see, the paper will go through the machine really nicely as well. There's no ripping on there. So I'm happy with that. And then I just put a little flower on the middle. So, right. Okay, so those are the cards that I've made. I think they're pretty much all of them. I've got a couple of others that I don't really have enough time to share. So I've got those 2. Now I was thinking that I would actually do this and put it that way, just to be a little bit different. Decisions on the colour. So this is the one where the embossing folders, this was put in the embossing folder pretty much, way round. No, it was that way round. You have to, I can never figure out. It wasn't that way. That was it, that way. I knew I'd get there. So it was pretty much like that. Or even that. But it went in there. Or even that way. Maybe it was that way. I think that's it. So that was where it went to get that design, so that only had a little bit on that edge from the middle. So I have that. I'm going to go for, I think this is the Shy Shamrock, which, as I said, I'm still not sure that it is that shy a colour, but hey. So I'm just going to take my A4 and cut it on the short side at 10.5 centimetres to create a landscape card. I could just use a standard card base and then have the tent fold at the top, but as some of you will have seen from previous lives and videos and things, I'm not a huge fan of having tent fold cards, so I'd rather have my folds on the side. So I'm going to do it like that, I think. So just keep it simple. Glue's fine with this, and of course you can, rather than, this is obviously the embossed side, but the debossed side also has some raised pieces, so you could use that as an alternative, but I do prefer that side for this, so I'm going to stick with that side. So I'm just going to put some glue on here. Because there are some little raised bits on this bit here, you can be a little bit more generous with the glue. You'll find that the edges don't necessarily sit flat all the time, but you don't want, also you just don't want the glue oozing out. That's not a good look. So that's that. So that's my card front. Now, what am I going to do with it? So you see what I mean by it, the fact that it doesn't. I'm going to have to see if I can spread the glue down from there and hope that works. So I could just keep it simple with the sentiment. So we've done the hoping you have the best day ever. We could go for a happy birthday and then just have it here. I mean, as I said, sometimes I'm very much a less is more. I've also got a flower that I could even colour. So where's the happy birthday? Is that the happy birthday? Yes. So it doesn't need to be a huge piece of cardstock, and I could do it so that it's, so put it here. I want it slightly larger than the sentiment itself. I'm going to bring in my trimmer and some white. So this is not huge. So if I cut a piece that is 2 centimetres by C, I'm working backwards there. Did I say 2? Let's just do 2 centimetres on here. Oops. Would help if I actually cut and not simply try to score it. Just eyeballing this. So 2 by 8. That's fine. Do that in white, and I think I'm going to use some of this and I'm going to make it 2.5 by 8.5. I know it's 10.5 across because I cut that from the card. 8.5. Like so that piece will sit on here, on here, and I need to stamp my sentiment. Now, dilemmas as always. Do I use Shy Shamrock or do I use my tuxedo black? Actually, it's probably better off to just simply, there's the happy birthday, there we go. I can actually read it now. If I line that up and then pick it up, that would be better. Shy Shamrock. I was going to say I need to make sure this is the right way round, but I haven't stuck anything together yet, so it doesn't really matter. If it was upside down, I would just simply turn it around and then put it on. Okay, happy birthday. That can go on there. That can go on there. And let's just colour these. I've noticed I've already coloured the centre, so let's get my Shy Shamrocks. I think we should do the leaves at least in that, so that it coordinates. So it's just a question of doing that. I'm not even going to worry too much about putting, let's see, I think I'm going to make these pretty in pink. And put the darker on those middle leaves there. That way, I think. There we go. And then I think I'm just going to do those ones in the pale peach pie. I think the petunia pop might be just a little bit too much. There we go. And then that can just sit on there. So just glue these together. Oops. Great, got glue on there now, but hey. Not the end of the world. Now the question is, do I put this down? Oh dear, don't think it really needs to be quite that out. It's either that or I've cut this really badly, which could be the case. Now, do I want that to go down here or in the centre? Or if I do a 10th fold on, I can put it there. I'm going to put that right in the centre there, but I'm going to add some dimensionals to that. So I'll put it on with that. Notice I actually found them first time this time. I didn't have to go searching for them. I'll probably put them down again in the middle in a minute, and then that will be it. I'll lost them forever. I think that's central. And oops. And then this can go I can't decide which end to put it. I think I might put it that end. Put one dimension on that flower, like so. I think we probably need some wing Costella. so you can't do without Winkers down on these. Give them a little bit of a shiny effect. And I think we probably should put some of those shimmer gems on as well. Now, what have we got? If I use my take your pick tool, didn't need to go too mad putting gems on. I think I'm just going to stick to these. Put a larger one somewhere. Maybe there. Okay, so I need to do the inside as well. So I need some white for that. This time I need a piece that is going to be 10 centimetres by 14.4. So let's cut the 10. And the 14.4. And instead of doing some stamping, I think I shall just use a piece of the paper. So we could go for stripes, floral, dots, or that. Actually, I quite like the floral. That's the wrong green. Nearly got the wrong one. So when you see them together, you do notice that there is a difference in the greens. In fact, I don't even know if you can see it very well in this light, but there is definitely a difference. Right, I just need to make sure I have the right one. So I just need to cut a strip off. Glue that on. And then glue the whole thing once I've trimmed it into the card. Once I've trimmed it and got it lined up, that is. There we go. That. So I do have an open house here on the 18th of May. So if you live anywhere near Wokingham in Berkshire and you'd like to come along, it starts at 10:30 and it's just a drop in anytime between 10:30 and 1:30. But what I would ask you to do is can you please message me so I can then send you my address. I don't really want to put my address out on the web. So if you would like to come along, you would be more than welcome. I have catalogues for people who want to just pop in. So that's the 18th of May. Right, so it's not lying very flat, so let's quickly give it a quick burnish. Should have done that beforehand, but hey. So there we go. So that was just a very quick, simple, just having the cardstock placed in the embossing folder in a different spot and not in the centre, just so that you see different parts of the dots on the circles, and then just keeping it a simple sentiment with a simple image. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the sneak peeks. There will be more coming up on... I'll be posting photos of all these cards up on Facebook over the next few days. And I'll be making other bits and pieces as well. So there'll be lots to see on the 18th. And I will be back next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is the first Wednesday of the month, which means it will be Card and a Cuppa. But I'm also going to do a catalogue run through that will go live at some point on that Wednesday. I won't be doing it live, it'll be pre-recorded because I have a card and a cuppa in the morning, and then I'm doing the virtual card and the cuppa in the afternoon. So yeah, so I think that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.